Hello everyone and welcome to the first episode of the Odd Experience podcast. Today I'm joined by Charlie, Isaac, Ezra and myself, Theo Ivor Chapman. This episode of the Odd Experience podcast is all about us, what we get up to in the past, the good and the bad, the beautiful and the ugly and everything in between. So today we'll be all sharing some interesting and humorous events that we have all experienced, obviously not all at the same time. Right, who would like to go first?
Alright, we'll go for Isaac.
Yeah.
So, obviously, as people who know me, I go to the toilet a lot to have a poo. And, so I was at school when I really needed one, so I went. And as you also know, I always have my earphones in, so I never really hear anyone unless I want to talk to them. So, I went to the toilet, had my earphones in, just vibing, and the fire alarm went off.
Oh no.
And obviously I couldn't go anywhere because I was still in the process of having a poo. So, I was like, okay, I'm just going to relax. It's probably a drill. It's all good. I'm just going to stay in here. No one will have to know. Stuff like that. So, I stayed in the toilet, done my business, cleaned up, washed my hands. I was just walking around the hallways. Then, on the loudspeaker, Isaac Hannon, please come to the courtyard now to be registered about the fire drill.
Oh no. Oh,
So,
what was
yeah.
running through your mind at this point?
But, so I went to the maths block where you can get like a view on the courtyard, and I just saw everyone just staring at the exit door because there was only one, and I was like, oh my god, no. So I was kind of just like, do I go out or do I stay, or like do I just stay inside? And because it was a drill, like nothing was on fire. So, but I decided to go out stupidly. And when I went out, I cannot tell. It was like someone just scored a football match, like in a football match. Everyone in the courtyard just went, "Wee!" and it just fucking went electric. But that was fun. I put my hands up but
oh my god.
then I got detention for 4 weeks after that.
For 4 weeks?
4 weeks, yeah.
What, every day after school?
Yeah, for risking a fire drill assessment.
But dude, you went for a poo. I was just like, I needed a poo, I'm gonna go.
That's what I said to the head teacher. I was on the poo.
When you gotta go, you gotta go.
Unless you want me to come out with my string hanging out, then I don't think you want me to come out. But yeah, that didn't change a thing. It got cut to 2 weeks because
fair enough.
a month was just. But yeah.
What did your parents say?
They just laughed.
I think everyone would have.
Yeah, but I was talking to my mum about it. Then I actually needed another one, and then because she's so hilarious, classic mum is so funny. But yeah, that's my story.
That was quite an interesting story.
Thank you.
Has anyone else got one they want to share?
Sure, I'll go. Alright, so I have two that link into each other.
Go on then.
These are creepy stories, like they're about ghosts and my house.
Oh, alright.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So the first one is going to come from my dad's point of view because he was there. Then the second one will be mine. Okay? So let's tell my dad's one. So my dad works nights. So he works at night basically. Very much easy said. So usually when he leaves for work, he leaves about 10:30 at night. He closes all the blinds, closes everything, turns all the lights off. Even if you're on the internet, he'll turn the power off.
Really?
And you have to turn it back on, just because he has an obsession with turning everything off. So when he comes back at 6:30 in the morning when he's finished work, he walks in and sees the living room light on. So he was like, oh, maybe I forgot it. Then goes through another door and sees our kitchen lights on. And he's like, right,
Oh dear.
I definitely don't do
Wait,
that.
sorry to interrupt, but was he the only one home?
I was at my nan's because I stay at my nan's, and
Yeah.
my mum, whenever he's at work and I'm not there, stays at my sister's house. So he's the only one in.
Wow.
So 2 lights are on, and he always turns them off. So then he walks in, and we have a automatic light, so if you sense light, so that goes on. So he goes, okay. So he looks around, and he's like, all right, there's something going on. So he checks the house. No one in there. Checks everything. All the lights are off except these two so far.
Oh god, this is proper scary.
Then he goes back into his room, and him and his mum, him and my mum's room, and their light is on.
Oh.
And he goes, all right, I won't forget to turn that on. So he goes around the corner and sees the bed. The bed has been peeled open like someone's been sleeping in there.
Oh,
Like
that's
it's
just
been
not what you
peeled
want to
open.
see.
And my dad pooed himself.
Yeah. I
He
think
was
anyone
like,
would've.
what? So again, he ran upstairs, checked everything, even checked the loft. Yeah, nothing was on. He came back downstairs. The TV was on,
Oh, and it wasn't before.
Nope.
Oh,
and it was
Christ.
static.
Oh, that's like a horror movie, man.
I'll
That's
just run
straight-
out.
Oh yeah,
And
same.
He literally told me because he picked me up and he was like, Charlie, I think I've had the worst thing in the world to happen to me. And literally, he was telling me about it. And he was like, the only thing I could feel was like someone was following me around the house, and literally, I just didn't want to stay there, but I knew I had to in case something else happened. So that was one story, and the second one's leading into my point of view. So before my room was my room, it was my sister's room, and she always used to run down at stairs at night time saying there's someone in her room. So my mum and dad always just thought
What, like, how young was she?
she was about 13, 14.
Mm.
Yeah, so
Well,
she...
surely if you're that old, they're not joking around. They're probably.
Yeah, but she just thought it was a nightmare or something.
Oh, okay.
So that happened. Then I moved there, and also I should probably say, he always said. So my sister said that in her dream, or what my sister thought, what my parents thought was a dream, someone was directly looking at her, and they were near a window and a radiator.
Oh.
So, as well, let me just say, if you haven't been in my room, like most people listening probably won't have,
I've been in it.
you've been in it. Most of you lot have been in it. My bed has a window right next to a window and a radiator. So, bit weird, but I don't know where my sister's bed was at this time. So so when I move in it, because she moves out, I move in it. She always used to tell me, I was like, oh yeah, of course, there's always a ghost in there, isn't there? Joking with her. And then one night, I woke up.
As you do.
I woke up and I had a drink, and I shit you not, I see something just sitting there. And if you've been in my room, there's a sofa next to my radio, and then he's basically sitting on that.
What, like an actual figure?
And I see it, and I
I'm scared. I'm going to poo.
no, literally, I went, to be fair, my thing, I picked up my drink, had a drink, saw something, went back to sleep. Okay, and the weirdest thing is, out of all of that, okay, so I have a little niece, yeah, she is 5, yeah, and she was in my room one day when I was at my nan's, and she was saying, where is Freddie? So my mum calls me up and was like, Charlie, do you have a teddy or anything called Freddie in your room? She goes, no. I was like, why do I have anything called Freddie in my room? No.
16.
She's like, do you have a teddy or anything? I was like, no. So literally, the next day when I saw my niece, I was like, well, tell me where Freddie is. Come on. So she took me upstairs and she pointed to where they were sitting.
Oh.
And the weirdest part was that people say when you're a kid you see more ghosts because your brain is thing, and maybe it was still there. Maybe my niece has been talking to it as a friend because she kept saying, oh, it's my friend. It's my friend. Freddie's my friend.
I don't like that.
Yeah. Right. Sorry, it's meant to be funny, but I couldn't
that was
think of a funny
alright.
one. So I thought I'd let you have that one.
I've got a kind of funny story, but it brings my little brother into disrepute, but I don't care. So basically, 2019 summer, I went to the US, and it was a brilliant holiday. Massive road trip. We landed in San Francisco, went all the way up to Yosemite, and then back down to Las Vegas. And we stayed in this lovely hotel called the Four Seasons. It's a very famous hotel in Las Vegas. All of them are, because they're all really nice. Because that's what you do in Las Vegas. If you're under the age of 21, you can't drink, you can't gamble. The only thing you can really do is stay in the hotel and go to restaurants and all of that. And me, my mum, and my little brother, we decided to take a walk down the strip, go to a nice restaurant, see what Las Vegas has to offer. And we were walking down, saw a bloody giant pyramid with a light coming out of it. Looks crazy. I'll try and put a picture on the screen at the moment. And we walked past loads of nice restaurants. We got to a nice restaurant, had our meal, met my uncle who was there on a business trip for some reason. And then we finished our meal, and then my little brother, I don't want to say his name, but it has this thing, it's quite common, because I've read into it, where he can't go to the toilet unless he is either in somewhere where he lives, or like just somewhere where he knows. So,
I have that.
yeah,
I can't go anywhere except my house. That's
it's
weird
quite
when I'm at my
common.
nan's.
But me and my mum don't have it. We will go to the toilet anywhere, and I will literally go anywhere as long as it's a toilet, like not on the street or something. And we were in this lovely restaurant, like expensive restaurant, and like he was like, oh, I need the toilet, and we were like, just go here, and it's like, it's not like they're going to be a bad toilet. It's a nice.
Yeah.
It was a steak restaurant, like a massive steakhouse, and then we were like, I'll just go there, and he's like, no, I can't, and my mum's like, all right, well, we'll walk back, and it's like a half an hour walk down this massive road to get back to our hotel, and then my little brother, as soon as he leaves the restaurant, he's like, I really need the toilet, like I'm busting for a wee, and then we're like, all right, we'll get a move on, because it's something we're all used to. We have to get used to it because he does this every time. Me and my mum are obviously annoyed because we want to see everything that they have to offer, because we probably won't be like there ever again, maybe. And my brother's just wanting to go back to the hotel so we can go to the toilet when he could have just used it at the restaurant. Anyway, it's not even the funniest bit. I don't know if any of you, or some people have been to America in this room. Their traffic lights and their pedestrian crossing signals are weird, and it took us a while to get used to it, but my little brother's a bit of an idiot, so he didn't really get how they worked. They have like some numbers and then a green, like a hand. It doesn't say go, it means stop, but he thought the hand meant go. So there's like a 4-way junction, like 4 lanes on each road meeting in a massive square, and the pedestrian crossing is like really, the pedestrian crossing is like the widest thing I've ever seen. It's like the size of a normal motorway in Britain. So then first of all, he doesn't wait for everyone else to go. There's like 50 people lined up ready to get across the street. So he's just not paying attention, and he walks across just the whole traffic, and it's a green light on like everywhere. It's just a green light. So he just starts walking, and then my mum screams at him, "What are you doing?" And he just carries on walking, and then all the cars are beeping at him, and he's like, "Oh God!" And he just runs across, and we got to the other side, and he told my mum, "I'll weed a little bit." And then we just like, I burst into laughter. My mum's like, "It's not funny, we need to go home now, he's pissed himself." So then he walked back. He like weeded just a little bit, you could see it. And bearing in mind it was like midnight, so it was quite hard to see. So he was just like walking like with his hands in his lap, just trying to just walk home. And then he gets to the hotel, he does his business, and then that's the night. And we still laugh about it to this day, because he almost died. And then he pissed himself.
At least he pissed himself.
At least he pissed himself.
Maybe he learnt himself to.
Yeah, maybe he should learn how to cross the road.
And learn how to piss in other places.
But yeah, that was my Las Vegas experience.
So, my story isn't exactly funny.
Doesn't have to be.
My story is actually quite sad.
Oh.
So, I'm going to need you to, change the atmosphere real quick.
Right, I'll put in some sad music.
Because this actually gets pretty deep.
Okay.
Once upon a time in Thailand,
Mm-hmm.
I nearly...
Carry on.
I came close to experiencing death. I was in Thailand, nice little day on the beach, sun, towels, volleyballs, bit of that. Anyway, walked down the beach, I wanted to take a swim with my dad.
Oh.
So, we got the shirts off, we were feeling ourselves, bit of sun, getting a bit of a tan, and I got into the water. It was pretty nice. Started swimming about a little bit of a paddle, skinny dipping.
Skinny dipping?
No,
With
no,
your dad?
No, not
Oh.
skinny, no. So we get into the ocean, we start swimming about, and we start slowly getting tugged out, but didn't think much of it because it wasn't that strong.
Riptide's in it.
It was a riptide, and then out of nowhere, the waves just started getting massive, like literally 1.5, 2 meter waves, like tall, like bigger than like us standing, like way bigger, and they were coming every 2 seconds, one after the other consecutively, with a current pulling us out at the same time. So if we tried to get back, we'd just get pulled out, and like the more, it was literally like you were getting constricted by an anaconda or something, because the more you tried to move, the more you tried to do, the more dangerous it got. So we were trying to swim back to shore, and we were getting pulled out, and then another wave would just crash us like 2 meters down under the water, and we'd have to swim back up
That's
again.
happened to me before.
And it was going on for so long, and we were spending like 70% of the time under the water. And I'd literally come to the point where I'd accepted my death. Like, it was that deep. I'm not even joking.
Christ.
Like, I've never been in a state like that before, where I just realised that there was no hope. Like, I was just like, okay, the more I try, the more like the quicker I'm gonna die. So I may as well just give up. Literally, just got to the point where I was like, I'm just gonna float
Jesus.
like that,
That's
and
what you're
then
supposed to do.
yeah, I know, and I stopped struggling, and I just became content with the idea of death in that moment. It was so crazy. Like it got so bad. Like I was struggling to breathe. I'd almost drowned. I'd almost like fully drowned. These hopeless lifeguards came out and they started drowning as well, right? and by the time they'd actually got to a point where they could try and save us, it had already calmed down by itself. So they'd literally got out there, got into the situation with us, and then saved themselves. They'd like, and by the end of all of this, I come back to shore. And I just realised I have no swimming trunks on. They just gone completely taken away with everything. But I didn't think any of it whilst it was happening, because obviously I was like so in the moment, like trying to save my life. And I come back to shore and I'm just like, I'm naked.
Boy sitting on the beach
I'm
with his
bloody
dong hanging out.
naked. I was literally like 9, 10, and I was just like butt naked. I was just like, Mum, I need a towel. I need a towel.
You do, honey.
I thought when you said it, when was it? I thought he was going to say about a month ago, about 2-3 months ago.
No. Yeah, I literally sent my dad up to my mum to ask her to get a towel, and my mum and my little sister were just chilling at the top of the beach. They didn't have any idea any of this would happen. They were just under an umbrella, just chilling out in the sun. And then my dad comes up to her and she's like, Ezra needs a towel. And she's like, why does he need a towel? He's butt naked at the shore over there. And she's like, oh. And then obviously we had to tell her the story about how we nearly died. That's pretty much it.
That was brilliant. That was better than I expected. Round of applause. Sharing his deepest, darkest secrets. Okay, that's about all we have time for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this first episode of the Odd Experience podcast. Don't forget to look at our website. Links in the description. Follow us on Twitter. Links also in the description. And yeah, I hope all of you have a good day. Goodbye.
Bye.